Hello. Welcome to the very first episode of the People We Love podcast, hosted by yours truly, Adam Choit. I wanted to just take a few minutes to give you all a little background as to why I'm starting this new podcast. Actually, I figure we'll call this episode 00. It'll just be kind of an intro to what the show will be all about. Just to quickly tell you a little bit about myself and give you a little short bio of me. I grew up on Long Island and now I live in Los Angeles. I work in the entertainment industry, in TV, and I enjoy tuna sandwiches, playing guitar. I like the Mets and Jets, and walking around. I like whiskey and vodka, but not gin or tequila. I like orange-flavored things, but not oranges. And I like apples and apple-flavored things, but not applesauce. And I don't like any soda or any sort of carbonated drinks. I don't know why I just told you about my food and drink preferences, but I figure I'd let you guys know a little bit more about me. But this really isn't about me. And I think we'll have plenty of time to talk more about me in the future. But maybe I wasn't ready to do this before in terms of doing a solo project that is. I don't know whether it was emotionally or I'm just busy or didn't want to put in the time or what, but I think I'm ready to do this solo thing now. And I really wanted to do something that focuses heavily on interviewing other humans. Now, when starting out a podcast, I've done quite a bit of research on this and I know a fair amount of podcasters as well. But what everyone says to do when starting out a podcast and coming up with an idea is that you should niche down as much as possible. To find your niche. I mean, if you have an idea that's too broad and, you're not already some famous person starting a podcast, that's quite an uphill battle to become somewhat of a success and to build an audience and things like that. I should mention that I do have some notes for this introduction here, although I'm trying not to read and, speak a little bit off the cuff and be, natural. But I do have some notes in front of me here. If I'm being forthright with you guys. But besides niching down, another piece of advice that I've been told by others is to just start recording, really. The best way to start a podcast is to start a podcast, I think. Turn on the mic, start talking, and just see how it goes. I feel like you, talking to myself, have to give yourself the opportunity to stink and just get better as you go. Doing something, I'm pretty sure, is the only way to get better at it, is by, doing that thing over and over. But anyway, despite living in Los Angeles, I can't say I have too many A-list celebrity friends, or really any. But in starting out this show, I'm setting out with the goal to do really just what's in the show description itself, to interview public and private figures, people from all walks of life, really about one specific person they love, who had a big, or significant impact on them. I hope that makes sense, you guys. And, I'm sure when I interview people, these conversations will veer and go on tangents, but the primary focus of these conversations will be for the person I'm interviewing to talk about, one other person who had a big impact on them, was a big inspiration in their personal life or helped them in their career or whatever the case may be. Just someone that they love, who they can speak deeply, profoundly, and have good stories about, anecdotes, funny moments, inspiring things I'm looking for. But for me, living in the entertainment capital of the world here in Los Angeles, I might be able to, sooner than later, book some up-and-coming actors or comedians, people like that. But I really do truly want to bring on people from all walks of life to talk to, so long as they have interesting, funny, heartfelt stories, to tell me about a person that they love. Really with this, what I would like to do is interview, some actor, some, public figure one day, and then the next day interview, a janitor. Really, I'm serious. I really want to have that much variety in the show, which is, why I'm questioning whether I'm niching down enough. But I'm going to be open moving forward as far as, some of the guests and content of the show. But it's going to center around this idea that I'm discussing with you right now. And no, I don't want to have people on every week to just talk about their mom or their dad, though I will have plenty of my mom had a huge impact on me type shows as well. But we'll see how it goes. But I imagine guests will be talking about their teachers, their bosses, coworkers, friends, mentors, really anyone that they truly love and adore. I don't want to be limiting, and I'm looking for variety with this. Perhaps the show will become all about people talking about their dads or teachers, but for right now, I'm going to be a little open to the direction of this. And I should mention, I'm recording this in, very early December and planning to launch this hopefully later this month is the plan. But I've actually already interviewed 5 people already, and I have 5 interviews in the can. And already the show is starting to go, I wouldn't say in a different direction than I thought it might, but people are surprising me a little bit with their responses to when I inquire about interviewing them and I ask them who they would like to talk about. Because really what I wanted to do was kind of have a rule where the guest has to know the person that they're going to be talking about. Know them personally. You can't be like, I want to come on your show and I want to talk about the impact LeBron James had on my life. If you never met the guy and have no personal experience interacting with him. I mean, if you met LeBron once in your life, I guess that could be an exception. Like if you were some like Make-A-Wish Foundation kid who got to hang out with LeBron for a day and spend some hours with him, I would interview someone like that. That counts. But just being a fan of LeBron for 15 years, and that doesn't make you. I don't know if that would be the right thing. But having said all that, I already did interview a person, a guest who spoke about someone they're a fan of, who's a celebrity, who's an actor, and it went very well. So I'm flexible as far as the rule about the guest having to know the person they're going to talk about personally. But I prefer that. But I'm being open. But other than that, I'm being pretty open. Like I said, pretty open about this. I mean, if you want to come on and talk about Gandhi or George Washington having a big impact on you, it might not be my preference for that, but if you can speak eloquently and profoundly about those dudes, I think it could be for an interesting conversation. It's really about the passion and the connection that the guest feels with the person that they're going to be talking about. So, what is the goal of this show? That's something that you might be asking yourself. That's a pretty good question. I think really what the show is going to be about is expressing gratitude to others. And maybe, just maybe in some small way, help to foster a more grateful, appreciative society. I mean, wouldn't you want someone to talk about you with gratitude and love? Even if you're bashful and an introverted type, who doesn't want to feel loved and appreciated? I mean, maybe this show, it's going to take some time to grow and a lot of work, and I'm being as realistic as I can, as I launch this thing. But maybe the show really will get people thinking more reflectively about the people in their own lives, and maybe be a little more appreciative of the people that they love and the people who love them. I mean, think about this. If you were to be a guest on my show here, who would you want to talk about? I just feel like there's so much negativity and divisiveness in this world, and plenty of hatred too. And I really want to get away from all of that and just really focus on doing something positive and exciting. I want to challenge myself to connect with all different kinds of people, even if it's just for a one-time brief conversation. And I think a great way to do this is by hearing all about someone that they care about. And in terms of a little bit more of how I'm going to be flexible with this, most of the interviews I'm sure are going to be somewhere in the 20 to 40 minute range. That's kind of my bread and butter right there. I don't expect anyone to listen to a podcast of me talking for an hour, 2 hours longer. I don't even want to go that long. I think I kind of get burned out. But I really am open to, if a conversation is impactful, if it's a 5-minute conversation or a 10-minute conversation, I'm open to that. If it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just kind of going to go with the flow and see how it goes. But as of now, I don't really have any schedule as far as when episodes will be released, so bear with me. And social media, I should say, is a bit of a work in progress, but I should have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff coming up pretty soon. So I'm sure it'll be out when this is I'm sure all that stuff will be published when the podcast itself is published. But just look for People We Love. It's a red logo with white letters. I'm sure you'll find it, and all that info will be in the show description as well. And I think that's about all I got for the little intro to this show. And I hope you enjoy the first 3 episodes that I'm going to be releasing along with this episode 00 intro. And I look forward to connecting with some of you guys. And I hope you enjoy this new podcast moving forward, the People We Love podcast. I'll probably refer to it as the People We Love podcast, but technically the show is just People We Love. So thank you guys, and enjoy. Talk to you soon.